Hello everyone and welcome back to a new Paint by Numbers videos. So today I want to discuss this Paint by Numbers that you see here and do a review about it. I bought it from Amazon and it was my first Paint by Numbers, but I just realized I've never actually did a review after I finished it. So this Paint by Numbers came with all these different colors that you can see here, which are all separate, so they didn't came in a rack or anything. And it was just these little containers all in a plastic bag. And the painting you can see here, which I really like. I really like how it turned out in the end. So yeah, let's paint together the last finishing touches, and I will talk to you about my experience with my first Paint by Numbers kit. So one of my concerns were when I started um, doing Paint by Numbers was that the picture that I order or the painting that I order, is that actually going to be what I make in the end? Is it actually going to be similar? And for this particular design and canvas, I can wholeheartedly say yes. I have still the reference picture, and from the website, it all looks the same as the design that I made. Except, of course, some mistakes that I'm pointing out here. But those are tiny mistakes, and you won't really notice a big difference when you put them next to each other. And I don't mind those differences because those make this painting kind of unique. So just own your mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, and sometimes you can still cover them up if you prefer that and if you think it's more beautiful. As I've tried doing in this example, where I just with my brush spat a little bit of red and I went over it with a few layers of white. And yes, you can still see it a bit, but maybe I give it another round of white. So, but then it should be all gone. And the same happened on top of the painting, but I can get rid of that as well just by cutting the painting. So this is the reference sheet that I got with it. Do you think it looks the same as well? Let me know down in the comments what you think of it. Yeah, you already know my opinion. So this is a Paint by Numbers review, and I guess it's clear already, but just to verify, I'm happy with the end result, which I think is the most important part of the review. Then let's talk about the brushes and the paint. So I think they were pretty good. I enjoyed the process, which means that I wasn't annoyed by the quality of the brushes or anything. And some of the paints, the lighter ones, I had to give 2 or 3 covers, which I wasn't expecting when I started, but now that I'm more experienced, I know that's actually pretty common for the weaker, because these colors have less pigment in them, so you have to cover them more to be able to cover the actual numbers and the lines. But I haven't found that any of an issue, so yeah, still pretty happy with this kit. So in one way it's good I'm doing this review a few weeks after I finished it, because one of the things that I actually only noticed that was good about this kit when I started doing my second Paint by Numbers, which is called Amsterdam, that I'm doing now at the moment. And check out my channel if you're new to it and you haven't seen any of those videos. The point is that the numbers of this Paint by Numbers were actually really visible and all of the same size, all pretty big, and it therefore was easy to see. It also came pre-colored, which again was like, oh, what's the use of that? But it makes you see the numbers or recognize the numbers easier because you're also looking for a certain shade of color with it. The only numbers I had like slight troubles were with like 5 and 6 that I messed up a few times, I think, and the same for like I think 13 and 16. So yeah, I still had some because I didn't realize it at the time, but I noticed those problems. Um, but yeah, the kit I have now is definitely worse. So it was really good for this kit. The second thing I realized after finishing this canvas is that actually the canvas of this Paint by Numbers is really nice. I think it's some kind of treatment to it, I'm not quite sure, or the material. Um, but I don't have this problem where the coverage isn't very good and that the paint sinks in, which is why people are using gesso. Um, you know the problem if you have had it before. And I do have it now in my newest Paint by Numbers, I think. There it's more difficult to not have white spots of the canvas because there's the paint sinks in. Hope that makes sense. I know I'm being really positive in this review, and the one negative thing I could think of is that all the pots come separately, and the kit I'm working now has a nice rack and foam and stuff, which is nice. It's a nice addition. And the second negative thing with this Paint by Numbers um, is that it came rolled up. It came rolled up and didn't have any foil on the outside, so it was damaged during transport. Not super bad, and luckily it wasn't folded or anything. But well, if you have seen my 5 mistakes video, I would have ironed it out before I started, but I didn't know that at the time. So you can easily iron out the folds if it comes damaged as well, like it did with mine. And I'm also kind of surprised that I'm really positive because I ordered it from Amazon, so I wasn't expecting too much. But I can genuinely really recommend this one. It might have something to do with the design as well, that this design is pretty easy to make or is purposely designed for Paint by Numbers, which some of the other paintings are not and are rather like adopted to Paint them by Numbers, and that the computer doesn't do it as well. Because I don't have too many small details in this canvas either. So yeah, this is the end result of my first Paint by Numbers. I hope you liked this video and give it a thumbs up if you did. And also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I would really appreciate it because it will help a small YouTuber like me a lot. And thank you for your support. See you all hopefully next time. Bye!